Okay, so not to drag much, directly I get into the topic like what exactly SAP consultant should prepare for the interviews. So what I target today, more about if your experience is more than 2 plus 3 plus or 5 8 whatever it is. Okay, so how to prepare for the interviews. Okay, most of the consultants, or maybe you're preparing for the interviews with the SAP end user, with the training you have taken, whatever you consider, right? So you have to prepare a resume as per the company's requirement. Okay, what company is looking for. If they have a JD, right? Okay, this requirement need to be achieved. So we are going to join that company to achieve their requirements, right? So we should not be stubborn like, okay, I have this knowledge, I will just go with this resume, and all the company should call for interviews. No, that is not going to happen. Okay, so majorly, we should think about, if I prepare this content for SAP module for a 3 years or 5 years or 8 years, whatever experience you have today, you have to prepare globally. Okay, you have to consider uh, what are the service companies are there which is giving a services to the customer, or product based company, or product based company has their own in-house IT firm where they're hiring for a analyst role also, or maybe in-house consultant also. Or you can consider any big four company, they have a requirement of implementing S/4HANA projects. Very less I can see that big four companies are going with the support project. It's more about uh, implementation or upgradation or rolling out projects. Okay. Uh, Other company, if you take up, there are few who take up implementation, rollout, support, upgrade, or this even AMCs also based on the requirements. So when you see in the market, like what are the which are all the companies are hiring in this duration? Okay, you have to research more about hiring process. Okay, what are the platform you can find, Naukri, LinkedIn, Indeed, Times Job, or any job portal which helps you to get an interview first. Then your community, how much you connect with the people outside, how do you build the good connection with them. It's not like you want tomorrow to attend the interview with the this is company, and you're talking to a senior consultant or maybe consultant working in that company and asking like, please help me this interview, it is scheduled tomorrow. You're talking today and tomorrow is an interview, so it will not help you out, right? Even the consultant or senior consultant working in that organization will not even help, like come and discuss with you how to prepare, how to achieve the, how to crack the interview. So better, what I suggest you all, you keep engaging with the connections. If you have like in contact number you have, or LinkedIn you have connections, wherever you see, so try to build a bond with them. Maybe 1 or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 5 weeks, engage. Then you know, right? One fine day there is an interview scheduled by Infosys, Accenture, PwC, Deloitte, EY, any company who will be calling out for 2 plus, 3 plus, 4 plus, 5 plus, 6, 8 plus. Different requirements will be there. If more experience the any organizations are looking for, it will be specific to the projects only. Okay, if it is like hiring for 2 years, 2 plus years, 3 plus years, it's more about hiring. It's a pool hiring, I can say. They will just hire and they keep in the database. Then whenever the project will be like they onboard, then they deploy into the projects, right? It's not like it directly they will hire for a particular position in the company what they're looking for. It depends. Example, and I joined a company, they hired me for a the client which is oil and gas industry. So they interviewed for a same project where someone is leaving that project, and they were looking resource to join before 15 days of that resource, like who has put down paper, right? Before that person relieve, I have to be there, and within 15 to 20 days they will do a knowledge transfer from that experienced person to me, and then I can acquire such skills and continue the projects. Okay, so there are two different cases as I mentioned. One is about ongoing projects where they can hire you for that particular role with specific requirement particular to the project only. Then it's little tough to crack the interview. But when you see it's a hiring for a pool, like simply they will hire this resource for this position, based on the HR, or maybe manager, project manager will be calling for the same, or the entire vertical where it was taken care by practice head or delivery manager who is taking care of multiple projects So they may just share the JD. Okay, these requirements we are going to get from the this particular organization. This client, maybe we will win. Pre-sale is already happening, and once they win the project, then there should be a immediately resource should be available. So they cannot search someone in that duration. So they hire, and then you will be in a pool. Then later you will be getting into the projects. Means again there will be interview going to happen inside the organization level. It's not like once you hire to the organization, then you don't think like you will not get another interview during next project you are going to face, right? So every time I have seen in my experience, and even you can talk with other working consultants where they'll organization level also they'll ask one page resume. Okay, you have to prepare 1 page or 2 page resume, which will have your entire experience, and you have to put the organization details over there, and that will be shared with the client. And after client interview only, you'll be onboarding into the particular project. Okay, this is about the short background of how to apply, how to approach, how to get the interview process. This is the way you have to reach out. Okay. Uh, I have mentioned last time also when I got a message from a director from a PwC. That time I got an interview and it was a smooth process which I onboarded into, right? So in that case, in few cases like that happens when you're actively or showcase your profile in LinkedIn. There are high chance a couple of like project managers, directors, or maybe HR manager will be looking into profile. There is a high chance they may ask you directly through message. So try to build a connection community. It's not about only showing off what I mentioned, right? Sometimes, yeah, you have to show up about your profile digitally. Then only people will know that you know about this technology, right? Other than that, you who will show off about your profile? You only the right person to showcase it, right? I definitely show up my profile, my experience digitally, because definitely I have to get good opportunity to work out, right? What else I can do it with my knowledge and experience? I have to achieve something, right? I have to execute something what customer is looking for. If some organizations are looking for, okay, Prashun, you have to come here and manage this activity for this time, 2 months, I have to be prepared well, right, for the same. So if I'm not showcasing about my experience or skill, then how they will understand that I have this much of overall experience into the technology, right? So people say like, I don't want to do this. I just do it via Naukri or this job portal within a month or 2 months with premium membership. I can just learn about how it works and then explore that and just pay some premium amount to activate your account. Then add your resume with the proper keywords, analyze like daily basis how exactly how companies are calling for the interviews, change your keywords here and there. If you are not getting any calls within a day or 2 days a week, again you change the strategy. Don't delay your this initial process, okay? Because if you delay to get a call from a client or maybe from the company, then how much it will take long time for you to get an offer and then joining the organization, right? You have to calculate entire process of starting of your applying of your resume into the portal. From that, how much time it will take to get shortlisted and who will hire you. Okay, and even during hiring process also, like about the package or maybe salary you're talking about, right? So that time you should be particular about your expectation. Okay, maybe diplomatically you can say about your salary what you're looking for, or you can directly talk about what exactly you're drawing today, what is your expectation. So it will avoid jumping into other organization last moment. Okay, maybe you're getting an offer from 3 organization or 4 organization, at least priorly inform 3 or 4 weeks before the joining date. Okay, at least that will be clear for the organization to hire another person during that period. Like, there are multiple backups will be there. Even organizations are also they are also clever nowadays. They will keep some backup if someone is not joining on that particular date. So when we are as employee looking at such options in the market to counter offer, then even organization also think about how best they can strategize their resource to manage. Okay, so it's win-to-win situation. If you want some today you're earning some 8 lakh package, okay, with a 2 years experience or 3 years experience, and your commitment is more about 12 lakh package. It's clear that you have a commitment, right? So I used to discuss in this way only with HR. Yes, I am getting today 9 lakh package. Because of these expenses and all commitment, I have got into more than this. I have to earn at least 12 lakh. The only option is I have to earn from my job. This is the only primary income source I have. So I used to justify in that way. So why I'm asking this much of salary or package? What is the reason behind asking? With the whatever experience I have, that's why I'm asking you. If you're able to offer me, just go with that. I'll definitely try to join with that salary which you're going to offer, right? If you're asking 14 lakh, 15 lakh, 16 lakhs, 18 lakhs, whatever it is. So once you get your offer, what you're looking for, you know the ability of how much you can earn maximum. And you know also maximum, whichever company you attend the interview, they will offer only that much maximum to your profile. So if you know about that, then why can't you ask that package directly with the organization level? Maybe sometime it's not right. You can just look what they're offering, then you can look for other opportunity, and you can check about your ability or potential what you have, right? You may get higher package, and then you can discuss about what best where you can join, and you can talk very transparently with the HR or maybe who is taking up that effort, right, to schedule an interview, arranging a panel, then they're investing their time to hire all that, right? So a lot of effort will be there. So be little ethical about your approach with any organization when you are looking for a job change or maybe change you're doing in this duration. Okay, and last moment it may they may change also, right? Organization can change their decision at any moment. Even they offer this package or offer letter you have received, it's not mandatory to hire you or onboard you to particular organization. In the last moment also they can revoke their offer letter. Okay, it's your choice how best you are going to plan and execute the process. Okay, now let's get into the process of how to prepare a resume, right? So I'll share a couple of resume sample, and I'll allow you to speak also. If you have any general questions, you can just type it in the chat box, or you can directly ask me what exactly you're facing in your interview preparation part. How was your experience in this particular organization level? And one more thing, if you're going to speak in this meeting, this is recorded session, and we'll be editing this session and posting in a social media. So that you should keep in mind. So what question you're asking? So if something that is sensitive information, or maybe you're talking about something about some company organization, we will be definitely removing that content. Okay, but try to ask general question what you are going through it. Try to avoid saying about any company names or any your personal experience with anyone. So try to avoid such situation. Just little think about how to ask a right question with the proper. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Okay, I'll come to you who raised the hand, or maybe you're looking for a discussion for a few couple of minutes. I'll allow you to speak. Okay, so let's finish first the agenda. Maybe it takes another 15-20 minutes to share. And already I shared a couple of documents link in our community group also. In case you don't have access to that documentation or link or reference to a resume, any reference resume you want, just you can reach out to or senior associate Mayur Sonar, or you can click on the link which we are going to update in the message. Like we are going to ping that link. In that link, just click on that link and fill your details. So from that, we will understand what is your requirement, and we'll share you the required documentation or maybe knowledge sharing. What is you're looking for? Simple. Okay. Okay. There is no indirectly we are not taking your data to just connect with you for any training or maybe coaching for a particular reason. Just this is for your support, or you can ask us to request like this folder you can share. We'll be placing all the documentation, and we may share that link with everyone so that you can access it. Whatever options we can do it. Okay. Okay, now let me share my screen. I'll take a couple of resume sample. Okay, so I got some 6 to 8 resume sample, I think. Okay, just I'm taking this particular resume format. Okay, so hope you are able to see, or else let me just clear all the screen. Okay, stop this. Hope it is clear. Are you able to see the resume content?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have removed all the top portion of details of the resume content. Okay, this you can just refer as a reference. Okay, so here you can see about the overall experience. You can see how many years experience and which project he or she has completed, 2 greenfield implementation, 1 support project, like that, right? So it's clear that it shows clarity of what is your current experience, and don't forget to use this word. Okay, as you know, now every organizations are looking for SAP MM with HANA, right? Better mention SAP MM as for HANA functional consultant with experience in the P2P cycle and completed 2 greenfield implementation and 1 support project. Just an example. Okay, like this, you can start with your uh, summary, or you can put 2 3 summary points in the resume. So whatever whatever highlighted things you interviewer can see in your resume, better you can put that in the summary point. Okay, generally I used to prepare my resume with the more summary points in the starting of resume, like 6 to 8 points I used to put whatever overall experience I have in what area, and what is my expertise in which module, how much experience I had in implementation support or maybe integration with other modules, then what are the tools are there which I used to manage during my experience. I used to prepare such points in my resume. So even I can share that resume format with you all. You can uh, just take a reference of the same. Okay, then if you see the experience here, it is very clear that you are here mentioned as from which date to which date experience. Okay, it's not required to mention your location. Better you can put from date to till date, and you can put the role, what exactly you are managing, and which company you are uh, supporting today, current organization. Okay, and your experience is in 2.5 years experience in implementation, like that clearly mentioned. And here you can see managing master data, procurement, and inventory management modules, like that, and even about the assays to be BBP, UAT, all that mentioned very simple way. Okay, even you can take a support of chat gpt to get a content of your resume, right? You are not able to prepare your resume and write keywords, try to search, just key in some of the information you are looking for, type it and find a proper output of what you're looking for, then you restructure it. Okay, don't put everything which you can see from a chat gpt, which is not more which you feel like not more human touch with the content. Okay, always when someone is looking at your resume, it should feel so you have prepared your own with your experience, not like copy paste of from ChatGPT or from other uh, uh, options of tool. Okay, so I can suggest education you can put at the last instead of education and recognition you can put at the last instead of adding into this in the top. So experience you added here, you can put this part at the end after your experience. Okay, so you can add more about project experience also, what project you are managing today. Try to uh, avoid adding any client details for the resume. Like sometime it doesn't look good because maybe the competitor project will be there, you are attending interview, and there's a chance that they know that this company is managing this project client, right? Better remove your client details in the resume. So here you can see the content is very clear that it's more about the what experience this person has gone through it, not about just creating a line like I have done configuration of a plant and define this company code enterprise. No, that's not the exposure experience you got it. That's a kind of a learning which you have got in the organizational level, training time you would have gone through it. But in case of experience, you have to write a proper experience what you have gone through it. Okay, maybe you want to add more about your training experience, training knowledge which you have taken from anyone, that you can put it as a separate the uh, like I can say uh, separate division you can put, not to mix with the experience. So this information is very clear where he has mentioned or she has mentioned about more about inventory management, then closing activities and period and closing activities like inventory write-offs, inventory write-back based on the physical inventory adjustment, all this, and special procurement process end to end you would have managed, right? So setting up relevant business process text script, end user manual for process. What is the text script? Generally, whenever you are managing any project implementation time, you have to prepare a lot of test script to run scenarios. Okay, imagine business is going to run multiple scenarios in production system. So for that, you have to create a multiple test script as per the scenarios what they are starting from a order to a till payment. Okay, so it may include O2C, P2P, R2R, or PTF, plan to fulfill. There are few department which covers, right? So that you can manage to handle all the scripts that phase only. Okay, Then you can restructure this the content. Instead of adding test script, you can add more about business blueprint, and all this mapping will be a first point, and then second point will be a more into a test script and creating the end user manner. Better just go with the ascending order of your experience from how you started your project and what was the initial job you are managing in that client, and how did you handle the overall experience in that particular client. Okay, so here you can see a lot of points are there. You can even minimize these many points with the major points. Like when I see this procedure for PRPO service procurement, somewhere I can see again there is a process here like about GR, purchase order, goods entry, invoice entry. Like there are few points are repetitive. Okay, so try to avoid repetitive points in your experience. Okay, try to collate or maybe combine multiple points into single point. Okay, if you ask like how you can manage to handle all the experience with a single line, I would have added more points about working on purchasing end-to-end process, which includes requisition, quotation, agreements, schedule agreements, then contract management and inventory management process of what exactly you have managed to do it. Just don't put like a you have involved in procurement process of this. What exactly you did over there? Are you managed to handle the configuration of such a process, or you have just did a testing of such end-to-end process? Okay, so this is clear that configured workflows and have a good hold of the workflow admin workbench tools. Okay, this is a exposure maybe experience that you have gone through it. So try to put as a responsible a responsibility of what I was responsible to take care of configuration of complete end-to-end workflow and the admin workbench tools. Like that you can mention in a proper sentence. Okay, and about the number ranges and all, you can add on, yeah, one point you can put like about number ranges, about the LIB part. Then if you have resolved tickets, right, what are the issues you have managed? Don't mention like I have resolved these issues like today day-to-day issues related to this topic. Instead of that, you can mention what area you handled. Better you handle, mention the issues are more into a purchasing side, or maybe inventory side, or maybe release strategy side, or pricing procedure side. Mention which area you have taken couple of tickets during your period of this to this. Okay, so it's easy that you have mentioned clearly that which area you have worked out, right? So interviewer may ask questions on the same. Okay, they will not even try to ask, okay, tell me the critical issue which you handled, or maybe medium issue, low priority issue. They may ask generally. Instead of that, you highlight your points, which area you have worked out. You know very well this area which you have taken up the issues. Okay, don't add extra part of your, like if experience is not there means don't add it over the resume. Okay, whatever you have added here in the resume, you should know how to explain in detailed way. Even you are not able to manage all the questions, that's fine. Out of 10 questions you are able to manage 7 questions, other 3 questions you are not very sure what they're asking, interviewer is asking. You can just say about whatever you know, diplomatically you can answer it, and you can say I'm not very sure about what exactly you're asking here, and my understanding is more about this part is this much. Okay, you can just say about what you know instead of saying that I don't know this, right? Directly don't say that I don't know, but I know about the process, but I never involved in that particular requirement of configuration, because it was limited job which I got into this project, and I took a support of a senior person to take care of this particular activity. Independently, what I have done, you can mention that part also. So this is my independent activity which I have taken. I have achieved it and finished on that time. Okay, so be genuine in the interview time. Whatever you know, you just express it in a very confident way. If you don't know much about some topic, don't try to say also, because once you say it about that area, interviewer may start asking more and more questions about same. Okay, so you can refer these all resume which has a more expertise exposure in this particular organization level. So but I can suggest a few points are same in another like a duration also. Better to remove that points instead of adding into the experience here. Okay, try to avoid same repetition of your experience. Example, okay, this part is not managed in a previous client. Okay, then you can mention output management configured and the printout of was signed off on it. Okay, this is about the uh, particular development which managed. Maybe configuration was straight case where you have used NACE configuration to manage all the output configuration, and for which part of printout? Is it like a purchase order printout, or maybe a schedule agreement printout, or contract form printout, or goods receipt slip printout? Which area you're talking about in a SAP side? There are a lot of forms will be asked, right, to print it out and customize the same. And did you work on any forms development? You can mention about the this forms I have involved, and I have managed to handle this kind of a requirement from the customer. Okay, so these are all points which looks few points are similar compared to your previous experience. Okay, you can merge into a multiple points into single point, so you can reduce your content in your resume. That okay, so when they see about your overall experience of 2 plus 2.5 years experience, so clearly it shows okay, your expertise level is good, where you have engaged with the implementation project. You would have managed to handle some of the support issues, you would have managed to handle some change request, or would have gone through some RISE-W object. When you are mentioning about this RISE-W object, finalized requirements and prepared functional specification document. Be sure that which FS you have written recently. Try to recall that FS which you have written and what was the logic written in that FS, and try to elaborate in a very good way. Okay, step by step you can elaborate. So nobody will ask you to explain very short time in a faster way. No, you can take little time to explain. Logic is like this, and expectation from the business was like this. This was not managed to handle in a customized way, or customization was not feasible to do this. That's why we went into Vapor and worked out in this way. And the logic was like this. And what are the activity managed by Vapor, whether they have used BAPI, BADI, or user exit, whatever the validation done or not, right? How did you manage to achieve this requirement, whether it is report or interface or conversion or enhancement or forms or workflow, whichever RESTW you would have managed, make sure which RESTW you have involved. Don't think like this RISE-W is very small changes which I have done, so I don't want to showcase that to an interviewer, so I want to speak something bigger. So you're copying something from someone, but whatever they have managed, don't do that mistake. Okay, even if it is a small changes report or maybe form or enhancement you have done, better explain to the interviewer by saying about your experience. That's okay. In next project you may get interface, conversion, or workflow experience, but as of now you got report, enhancement, and forms. Only three. In out of RISE-W, you have got exposure of three requirements. Like one of the projects which I handled in a before, like last year, in that only 5 objects were there. Only 5 objects total, right? So instead of saying I have managed 15 objects in RISE-W, it's not good, right? Whatever you have experienced, just showcase that to the interviewer. In case you are not experienced of RISE-W, better you can keep that RISE-W experience as a separate training you have completed from the respective organization. You can say that. So there was no experience from an implementation side to take care of RISE-W object. What I did is I discussed with this particular XYZ company, and I met a working professional who has experience of 6 to 8 years in ABAP, and that person has given rough idea about how to manage this particular RISE-W object requirements. I have taken a couple of reference data and documentation and have gone through it, and shall I explain to you what knowledge I have gone through that training? If the interviewer says, okay, go and explain that, then fine. You can consider, they may consider the same. Okay. Okay, this is about one resume. You can take this copy of this resume for your experience to showcase. Just a minute. Just adding charger. Okay, connecting charger. Okay. Now let me take the resume, sample resume. Okay, so I will talk more about 4+ year experience, total 7 years experience resume. Definitely, if someone is into a domain experience of couple of years into manufacturing or maybe other domain, even I was from a manufacturing and quality engineer profile. Like 2011 to 14, I was into same only, and I was an end user. 2015, I started my consulting journey, and from that, yeah, I become a associate, senior associate, then SSC, senior software engineer, then I become a senior associate and manager. Okay, you can look into my profile in LinkedIn, then you can follow, and even I'll share my resume template to explain how I used to manage to put up all the experience in a point and how I used to showcase my entire experience. Okay, this resume content is good, like which we help to prepare this as a ATS that proof with the keywords. Okay, that you can take this example where you can see details you can mention here about your name, phone number, contact details, and LinkedIn profile. You can add here. Then here you can see about the overall exposure of what exactly the candidate has. Okay, simple. If you want to highlight about STO process, you can put about STO. Then you know how to handle the requirement analysis of customer, what they're giving, pricing procedure, release strategy, then end-to-end implementation, support project, and additional skill. If you have other module, you can mention SAP PM, QM, EWM, whatever it is. You have to mention your secondary skill also. And here you can add about more about your SFW object of experience, scheduling agreement, team building activities, EDI doc, ASAP methodology, output determination. Like that, you can add more points here as a your exposure. Okay, so here you can see very clearly mentioned about highlights of your experience. This is about summary, which I was talking about a few minutes back, right? So highly motivated, result-oriented professional with a solid experience of 7+. So using your overall experience should be first highlight. Then you can add about your experience in SAP MM as a consultant. And in SAP MM 4.1 year experience or 4. I think it's 10 months. Okay, for 4 months, 4 years, 10 months. Okay, so implementation and support. It's almost 5 years experience. So you can apply for 4 to 6 years experience requirement. Don't apply for 7 to 8 years, 8 years experience. It will be hectic for you to handle the interview questions. So your experience is overall 7 years, but your experience is 4+. Better you can apply for 3 to 4 years experience or 4 to 5 years experience. If you're not getting much calls with the 3 to 4 years experience, then you can directly look for a 4 to 5. So in the interview, you are not able to manage the interview questions asked by the interviewer, then you can prepare accordingly. You can update your resume accordingly. Okay, this is the highlights you can see. I don't want to read again this all the points. Okay, just I will discuss few points how to handle if you add more about strong knowledge about or good integration knowledge between the module FICO, PM, and SD. So if they ask like what did you know about FI side integration experience, you can mention about how did you manage to handle your requirement of split valuations, or how did you manage to handle about your OBIC setup, which is required for the automatic account determination process. How did you manage to do it? Everything is standard, right? What is exactly you did? They may ask integration knowledge. You can mention about there was a new GL account which was created for particular business requirement, and it was particularly for a this material type. Okay, and standard material type whatever we have copied and used for the project, it was like standard best practices. We did not do any changes, but there was a scenario where the business is looking for same material type should have a different GL accounts. How to do it? Then you should have a valuation class creation for that particular requirement, then linking that valuation class to a material type, then that valuation class to a GL account, right? This complete process, how did you manage to handle? How was your exposure? What was the business scenario? Why did they ask you to do this? And how did you discuss with the finance team to cope up that complete process, right? You can mention clearly whether you have done it or not. If you have not experienced such activity in your current organization, never and ever say that I have involved in a such a requirement like a accommodation part. Okay, so if they ask about PM, this profile like more about who has and PM, his experience more into plant maintenance initial days, then later he got into a metal management module after a couple of years. Then he is more interested about showcasing his experience as consultant instead of PM consultant. So how that can be handled? Definitely the kind of exposure of PM and will be equally managed. But you want to become a PM consultant, don't try to showcase more about PM. Just suppress little and say about your PM experience only, limited. And this is the area which I experienced in initial days of my domain experience. And later I got into a procure to pay cycle exposure. I was an end user initially, then I become a consultant. So in that case, you have to add more points about even your what are the areas your expertise. Okay, this is a separate you can add on where you can mention about which area you are expertise. Okay, it's very clear that if you see here, it's clearly mentioned from where to where, you know, which are the areas you are very good. You can mention that point only, right? Then if you want to mention about your functional experience with a particular organization, right, you can add on here ticketing tool which you have used. You can add this at the end, or maybe starting also you can use. Then you can mention about your exposure of how you are managing with the stakeholders, collecting the business requirement. How did you manage to develop such specifications, right? Functional specifications. Then accessing the current software IT structure to determine the strength, potential areas of that, right? Whatever it is. Like, it's not about you're just writing about your knowledge about your supporting issues or maybe configuration. You can add on more about how did you cope up with the customer to take care of that particular business requirement, and how did you finish the project. Okay, here you can see something about MDG tool also, right? It is necessary to add on your additional skill which you have gone through it, right? Because MDG will come into picture wherever the data migration activity happens. Then through the MDG tool, that will be updated accordingly. Though there is no manual intervention will happen whenever you are talking about data migration plus data update part. Data migration is taken care by LSNW or LTMC migration tool. That is a different story, where other team will be available to take care of that in some project, or else you would have managed to do it with your own. You can add on in the experience also. Okay, it looks very simple, that with all the exposure whatever he has got it in his experience. So he mentioned very clearly, not about only as a consultant level points, right? It looks like where he has worked on way bridge configuration. He worked on some compliance also, right, with the MDG tool. Then he mentioned about integration testing to ensure robust quality of deliverables, right? Worked on configuration and enhancement pertaining to release strategy and master data and pricing procedure. If you put master data configuration, you should be very clear what exactly you did in the SAP system, right? Whether you have to change in number ranges or material type configuration or material master, or if you would have worked on S4HANA system, did you work on BP configuration from end to end? Did you create a business partner roles? Did you manage to handle any partner determination process? Did you configure anything which specific to the particular business requirement? What are the changes you did? Did you gone through the best practices which is satisfied or not? Did you map it same like what SAP given, or did you change completely, right? So all that questions they may ask in the interview. So you should be very clear about what exactly you have performed during your period of July 23 to present. Okay, maybe it's a 1 year, 2 year experience. There might be your job is routine job, maybe in that case, or maybe repetitive task was there. You can mention that also. It's more about doing it for multiple company codes, or there are a lot of plans were there, and I used to configure and test it. And in that case, there are multiple changes I used to come in between. Configurations, this configuration part is not clear in the first stage of implementation. There are different approach we have discussed with the SMEs or subject matter expert from the organization side. They have come up with more and more changes. I have got 100 plus purchase group initially, but later they have changed their approach of changing the structure of that purchasing group creation. So this took more time for us to engage with the customer and manage to handle that requirement in a right time and right way you have to execute, right? It's not like just you get all the information and you copy it and just paste it and execute and test it. No, there will a lot of discussion happens in the implementation time, right? In my experience, like couple of time, even simple changes which I was looking for, I used to connect with the multiple stakeholders and subject matter expert to get the input only. So whole day I used to spend over there. So you can mention that too. These are the areas which I felt very complicated, and I couldn't able to manage in a short time. So but due to that experience, now I'm able to take up any kind of a project implementation with these many learnings. Okay, you can mention about your um, problems you have faced. How did you overcome your exposure experience part? You are not a well versed with the implementation project. It's the first project you got it, and this was the uh, experience you have gone through this particular project. Now yeah, I'm very comfortable to take up this kind of a project. Whatever you are looking for, I can involve in such project and I can achieve it. You have to give a confidence to the interviewer that you know about this, and you are exploring more about what exactly the organizations are looking for it, right? So you can add all that points. Okay, so see, before experience of consultant, so you can see about the previous experience as assistant engineer. Okay, and I always say, whenever I mentor and coach for any aspirant, I always say, don't suppress your real time experience. You would have gone through 4+ year experience or 3+ into a different domain. That's your chance to say about your exposure of what exactly you have managed in your previous profile. Try to keep as it is whatever you have managed to do it. Maybe you have not got into SAP system much during that duration. You can add on few points about SAP, and related to that process, you can add on some of the process about purchasing assistant. So in that case, what interviewer will think, like, definitely he or she will be looking into your domain experience of this. Definitely you know about how in a manufacturing side, or maybe in an e-commerce company, wherever you worked, right there, you know how to handle the different process: direct procurement, indirect procurement, then service procurement, special procurement like consignment, subcontracting, STO process. There are a lot of process will be involved, right? It's not like every organization will. Can you mute your mic, please? Every organization will not go for entire business to map business requirement to map into SAP. It depends. Some of the organizations are not even looking into a STO process, right? If they are not keen about their STO process, they will manage within the company code transfer posting process only. Can you mute your mic, please? It's irritating a lot. And please just understand here. I'm just sharing the knowledge experience. Just think about basic etiquette to be followed. So like this, you can add on more about your previous experience. Then this is about your consulting exposure from which year to which year, 21 to 24. And yeah, this is a resume. And see here, if you would have gone through some of the education or experience from any other organization, try to add a single line about your learning part, right? Where upskilling of S4HANA, because SAP ECC was used by most of the organization and today also. So how you can explain that you have gone through S4HANA implementation project? You cannot mention that, right? So only option is that you can update your experience as a implementation done couple of years back in that organization, and I was part of that implementation project too. And then later I got into a rollout of their multiple organization level, and now same organizations are looking for S4HANA implementation also. But later I understood that if I wait for that position, it is difficult for me to achieve my goal. That's why I taken S4HANA training from a third party. They have given the knowledge which is really required. Okay, you can put one line, or you can put 5-6 lines of your experience, what you have upskilled yourself. Okay, don't involve sorry, don't add such knowledge into your experience. Okay, that's just a knowledge and a hands-on. You have got it from a sandbox. You can mention these points have explored, and these are the changes which SAP managed to release in this particular version, and this is the version I have used to practice it. And this is the sandbox expertise which I have tested all this part in a sandbox. And definitely if you ask me to do it in the real-time project time, I can go into the system, and even I can recreate same requirement for your client what you are looking for. Then I'll execute in the development system. You have to give us such confidence to the interview that I can do it. Yes, I never got an opportunity to work in a S4HANA project implementation, because 90% or 80% of people in the market today, SAP consultant, are not exposure into a S4HANA projects. If you have got S4HANA project, then you are lucky that you got an opportunity. But if you have not got it, in the next organization you have to approach. Okay, at least you have to convince the interviewer that you have gone through such a vast experience in this organization level, or this company. And the difference whatever SAP has come up with the S4HANA, you have to tell really what you have knowledge. There's a chance that company interviewer may select you for the position what they're looking for, a 3+ year experience with the ECC expertise in a very good way, good experience. HANA differences, if you know, right? They may negotiate with the package. If someone is like hiring for a 4 years experience with a 12 lakh package or 15 lakh package, expectation is there. You're asking for 8 lakh package to start your S4 HANA project implementation requirement. So you can negotiate with your package just to start your experience in S4 HANA project instead of ECC only. Anyway, after 4 to 5 years of experience now, after 2028, I think SAP already mentioned that they will not support SAP ECC. In that time, most of the companies will be moving into S4 HANA. So all of you get a chance to work in S4 HANA project implementation only. But according to my experience, it's not like you have to hunt for only implementation experience. Try to get into support project, data migration project, upgradation project, rolling out project, change request project. or AFC project, like that. A lot of projects are there outside. Firstly, you try for such opportunity in the market, go through that experience, then later implementation project you may get it. Okay, so you have to wait for an opportunity which organizations are going to hire you. Definitely your experience is really good, and the kind of knowledge you have got very nice from a current project or maybe current organization level. Never and ever say negative about your current organization, what you have experienced. It's your choice how to say about positive, about your experience of what you have gone through it and what exactly you're looking for it. So that will the interviewer will decide about your mindset, about your approach, or about your attitude part. Okay, sometimes it's not like you should be like good in technology or maybe experience wise you should be excellent. No, that's not right. It's like both. Like they will compare with everything, evaluation of every experience you have, and also your currently how you are speaking, how you are presenting yourself, right? That will be considered. And even right, most of the companies are not ready to hire who is very intellectual and highly performance person. Okay, after maybe 1 or 2 years he may or she may look for other opportunity in a short time. So they will also look into to whom we should hire, for which profile we have to take into this particular project. Billing is really low, budget is very less from the client, and that definitely they will not hire high paid package person. So they will hire who has a medium package, and that time your package is not really great, you can try at least that role to start your consulting journey. Okay, then let me show one reference of 4 years experience. Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay, this part I have not explained, right? Okay, so when you have a less years of experience, okay, someone got recently an opportunity to start in one of the MNCs. Okay, so when you have a less years of experience, how to handle your resume, right? So you have to add about your SAP expertise in this way, and which company you have managed to handle your overall experience, right? It's more about 3+ total, I can say. November 2021 to till it's 3+ or almost 4 it's going to complete. So in that case, how you are going to uh, get shortlisted to the company where they are looking for 3+, right? So this is about a story where who had a 3+ years experience and looking for an opportunity to start his like to switch into other organization for higher package. Somewhere, yeah, he got an opportunity to get 100% hike also. Okay, so I'm not like highlighting about organization level. I'll just talk about what exposure he got, and he was just thinking more worried about his experience is only on the support for a long time. Okay, and then he come up with the expectation like, hey team, I would like to know about more knowledge on this area. So I couldn't get it from an internal organization, from an organization level. So only the opportunity I got into a monitoring the job and working on idocs, testing of this if any something failed. See, it's more about errors, right? You can see all the 3 points is more about idoc, right? Resolving the idoc issues, then finding a like a making a root cause analysis for the issue what was faced, and filing documenting it. If you see overall experience, it's more about support only, right? So almost you are into a 3 years 4 years into support, and you don't know how to handle next organization to propose, right? How to approach into that organizational level. So you have to add that expertise level in this area. Okay, you can add on this expertise you have, but the chance I have not got much into a configuration part or maybe consulting side, implementation of project and all, I have not even got into it. But kind of a maturity which I got about the system is more now because of which I have taken a couple of training and certification. You can add more about this, right? So certified associate, if you want to make write an exam properly by going through the knowledge bank of SAP given, not like just referring the Q&A session, Q&A thing. You can go through question and answer of whatever you're going to prepare for the exam, but along with that preparation, you have to know about much about subject wise also. Example, you would have gone through engineering, okay, or everyone maximum B or MBA or MCOM, whatever education you have, right? You would have prepared for the interview, sorry, for the exams, right? So couple of experience you got from the lectures, and then you would have prepared well, and then you would have referred some of the question and answer from different books. So you're preparing a lot of things to clear the exam. Okay, so same way for certification part also, I recommend you all to prepare for subject, get into the system, keep one system for 6 months, get hands-on of entire questions what is asked in the that preparation part. So go through all the system-wise selections, or maybe a execution part. Check, okay, there are 3 questions which is more into a you have to select some points, like, okay, this question has 3 right answer out of 4. How you understand these 3 are right answers, right? You should experiment that. You have to test it maximum. At least 65 to 70% of preparation should be done, and 30% you can refer the question and answer to clear the exam. Okay, it's not like just you have to prepare, you go through the certification exams and apply for all the module, then you just get a certification is not good. Okay, prepare well and then get it. Then about the experience of ECC and HANA, you should mention about, I'm not promoting about the organization, about our company, but it's about where you are going to take any training, what training you have taken, that you have to mention in your certification and training. See, it's very clear. So the education part clearly mentioned what was education, and then certification and training here mentioned, and your experience of overall with the what project and from where to where, right? In one company you worked for a 3+, 4+, you can mention very clearly about your experience and expertise of what exactly you have, and then about your consulting of 2.6 mentioned here, right? So you can mention overall how many years and 2.6 into right? So you can mention like this, and you can get a good job opportunity. Somewhere he got a 100% hike from one organization to other organization, and it's good that where you are looking for more financial support, and you have prepared well for a couple of months, and you spend some money to write an exam. Maybe it cost you almost 21,000 rupees to prepare, like to apply for the exam and preparation. Mainly it's about time, not about money also here. Maybe the money investment will be maybe maximum 80 to 90,000 to prepare all the process and get certification maximum. But how much you are going to get income source? It's a 100% hike you're getting, right? So same way, you have to work on your upskilling part, and you have to achieve whatever you're looking for in the market. Okay, I'm stopping here. So I have given couple of resume reference to you all. Okay. Okay, see, this is a resume I was talking about. So if I missed to share the screen, you can just uh, keep an eye on this, all the points, right? See this expertise level, and then experience, which company you have managed to work for this many years. Then what are the points need to be mentioned as an experience into a consult into support side, right? Functionality and all. You can write it down whatever you have gone through it, not to hide anything which you have experienced, right? Additional point you can add into your expertise level. Okay, and for the certification part, you can mention very clearly what exactly you have certified in which area, and then any additional experience you got from any other organization you can mention. If you have some training completion through some online platform, you can mention 3-4 points, or you would have got some certification other than this open SAP certification, all that. Now you can mention all the points in your certification and training. And education part, you can mention which what is your education background of last, and this will show that you are 2020 pass out, and after that you got into a particular company, big MNCs, and then work for 4 years, and now you're looking for a change of this, you may get it accordingly.